You are broke because you've been lied to. Lied to by society, by school, by your weak friends, and most of all, by yourself. You tell yourself it's okay to rest, it's okay to be average, it's okay to wait. But it's not. The world doesn't wait. Money doesn't wait. Opportunity doesn't wait. While you're making excuses, someone else is making moves. You want freedom? Then stop wasting your life scrolling, sleeping in, eating like a fucking pig, and complaining that success is hard. Of course it's hard. That's the point. It's supposed to be hard because that's how the strong rise and the weak stay buried. Every minute you waste is a minute you'll never get back, and you're either building your future or digging your grave. I don't care if you're tired, depressed, broke, or lost. No one's coming to save you, not your parents, not your friends, not your boss. If you want to be a man, if you want to live life on your terms, you better start fighting for it like your life depends on it. Because it fucking does. Get obsessed, get angry, get relentless. You're allowed to fail, but you're not allowed to quit. Put in the work when you're tired. Push when your mind says stop. Grind in silence and let success make the noise. People will laugh, doubt, criticize. Fuck them. They laughed at me too. They laughed when I was broke, when I slept in a car, when I had nothing, but I didn't break. I built, I suffered in silence and turned that pain into power. You want power? Then sacrifice. Comfort is the enemy. Discipline is your only friend. And never forget, Allah is the one who gives and the one who takes. But He rewards effort. So move like a man who knows Allah is watching. Like a man who wants to leave a legacy, not excuses. Pray with your heart, but work with your hands. The world doesn't need another weak soul hiding behind fear. It needs warriors. So be one. Let me tell you something the world doesn't want to admit. Your fucking life is your fault. Every ounce of pain, every failure, every missed opportunity, it's yours to carry, yours to fight through, and yours to fix. And guess what? That's not a curse, that's a gift. Because if it's your fault, then it's in your control. I was sitting in a freezing apartment in England, no heat, no food, no future, surrounded by dust and silence, with nothing but my mind and the sound of failure knocking on my fucking door. And do you think I cried? Do you think I sat there and wished for sympathy? Fuck no. I tightened my jaw, clenched my fists, and declared war on everything weak inside me. I built discipline not because it was easy, but because it was the only weapon I had left. You want to be powerful? Stop thinking like a victim. Nobody's coming. Not your parents, not your friends, not your favorite influencer. Nobody's going to drag you to greatness. That shit is earned alone in silence and pain. It's earned at 4 a.m. when your eyes are burning and your back is broken, but you still show up. It's earned when you reject pleasure, when you ignore comfort, when you tell your own weakness to sit the fuck down. Discipline is the chain that pulls you forward when everything else tries to break you. You want freedom? You better suffer. You want power? You better sacrifice. And not just once, every fucking day. This world is built to keep you soft, addicted, distracted. Porn, sugar, social media, weed, alcohol, it's all there to sedate you and make you forget you were meant to be dangerous. But the disciplined man, he sees the trap, he resists. He sharpens his mind like a blade and trains his body like a weapon. He stands tall not because life is easy, but because he chose to be unbreakable. I didn't win because I was lucky, I won because I refused to lose. Because I buried the old me, the weak me, the one who blamed and cried and doubted. I killed that version and built a machine fueled by pain, rage, focus, and faith. And don't get it twisted, I never once thought I was a god. I know there is only one God, and that is Allah. I bow to no man, no trend, no temptation, only to Him. Every ounce of success I built came from two things: brutal discipline and sincere dua. You pray, then you move. You ask, then you act. And when your body says rest, you fucking reject it. Because every minute you waste is a minute your enemy is using to get stronger. Every time you slack, there's a man somewhere pushing harder, outworking you, preparing to destroy you. So I chose to go beyond limits. I sacrificed sleep, parties, fake friends, women, entertainment, everything. I chose war. I chose growth. I chose to become a savage, not because I wanted to impress anyone, but because I refused to die average. People laughed when I started. They mocked me. They doubted me. They said, "You'll never make it." But those same motherfuckers now watch me from behind screens, broke, silent, and bitter, because I showed up every day and did the fucking work. That's discipline. That's faith. That's power. You don't become a winner by accident. You become one by intention, by sacrifice, by staying loyal to your mission when no one is clapping for you. So delete the fucking excuses. Stop blaming your circumstances. Build a code for yourself. Pray, fast, train, work, read, stack skills, stack wins. Every fucking day, you will bleed, you will fall, you will feel alone, but you will rise stronger, smarter, more dangerous, because the man who walks with Allah and disciplines himself is unstoppable. And one day, when you're standing on top, when the world is forced to respect the monster you become, You'll look back and know the truth. You didn't get lucky, you earned it. You didn't wait, you acted. You didn't fold, you fucking rose. That's the path, that's the game, that's the standard. So rise the fuck up and walk it. No fear, no hesitation, no surrender. Everybody talks about success like it's a fucking Instagram quote. Wake up early, grind, win. But the truth is, most people don't have the stomach to truly suffer. Everyone wants the rewards, the status, the admiration, but they have no idea what it costs. You want discipline? Then prepare to bury your emotions, kill your excuses, and silence every weak voice in your fucking head. Because becoming powerful isn't about motivation, it's about doing the work, whether you feel like it or not. It's waking up when your body aches, when you're broke, when you're surrounded by doubt and disrespect, and still saying, I don't give a fuck, I'm showing up. Discipline is when you're exhausted, but you still hit the gym. Discipline is when people laugh at you, and instead of crying, you go harder. Discipline is when you're seeing no results month after month, but you keep trusting the process because you know Allah sees the effort even when no one else does. This world is not going to hand you shit. It's going to test you, break you, make you question your worth. You're going to be alone, misunderstood, betrayed by the people you thought loved you, and that's part of it. That's the price. You don't grow in comfort. You don't get strong from praise. You become something real by fighting through the dark when no one gives a fuck about you. When I had nothing, no money, no fame, no friends, I still moved like I was a king. Because I knew the crown isn't given, it's earned in silence. The process is long, ugly, and brutal. It will test your patience, break your ego, humble your soul. But every drop of pain, every sleepless night, every lonely morning is building you into something different. And if you quit halfway, you don't just lose the reward, you lose who you were becoming. That's the real loss. You want to be a fucking monster? Then stop caring what people think. They're not living your life. They're not paying your bills. They're not praying to Allah on your behalf. So fuck their opinions. Fuck their doubts. Trust your own fire. And if your fire's small right now, feed it with repetition. Feed it with effort. Feed it with pain, because every time you sacrifice comfort, every time you do what's hard when no one's watching, you're building a version of yourself that one day they'll be forced to respect. This is war, not with the world, but with your own mind. You're either going to be a victim of your circumstances or a warrior who turns pain into power. The ones who win don't cry, they plan, they don't complain, they adapt. And they don't worship success like it's godly, because there's only one God, and that's Allah. And what He teaches is clear. You're rewarded for your effort, your patience, your persistence. So put in the fucking work. Again and again, whether it hurts or not, whether you're tired or not, whether they laugh or not. You don't stop when you're struggling, you push harder. You don't pause when you're doubted, you prove them wrong with every step. It's supposed to hurt. It's supposed to feel unfair. That's what makes it powerful. No shortcuts, no excuses, no mercy. Just a fire that keeps growing inside of you while everyone else is busy looking for comfort. Keep pushing, keep praying, keep building. Because soon the same pain that broke you will be the reason you stand above them all, and they'll realize they could have never walked through the fire you danced in daily. They won't understand why you wake up before the sun, why your eyes burn but you still grind, why your body aches but you push anyway, because they're fucking soft. They want results without pain, praise without pressure, and comfort without sacrifice. But if you want to make it, really make it, where no one can question your power, where your presence speaks louder than your words, then understand this. Your path will be lonely, your effort will go unseen, your pain will be ignored, and your discipline will be tested every single fucking day. And you better be okay with that. Because success isn't about hype, it's about repetition. About doing the shit you hate like it's your purpose. You don't become unstoppable by doing what's easy. You become a weapon by doing what's necessary. While they scroll, you study. While they sleep, you move. While they laugh, you build. And that process, it's supposed to hurt. If it doesn't break you, it won't shape you. You will lose friends. You will lose energy. You will lose your past self. But in return, you gain something stronger, a version of you that doesn't fold under pressure, doesn't flinch when doubted, doesn't beg for validation. And if they don't like you for changing, fuck them. They were never meant to go where you're headed. You see, they'll tell you rest is important, don't overwork, slow down, because they're scared. Not for your health, scared that you'll succeed and prove how lazy they are. Scared that your work ethic will expose their weakness. So they'll tell you to stop, to chill, to enjoy the moment. But this isn't a fucking vacation. Life is a war for men like us. We are here to conquer. And no empire was built by taking breaks. You want the power? You want the life? Then you better suffer like a savage until it's yours. And in the darkest nights, when your thoughts scream louder than the world, remember this: Allah sees your struggle. He hears your pain. And He does not let any effort go to waste. So don't wait for applause. Don't wait for someone to believe in you. Believe in the mission. Believe in your grind. Move with certainty, knowing the process will hurt, but the result will humble. Because you're not here to live average. You're not here to be liked. You're here to build something no one can take from you. And that takes pain. That takes fire. That takes doing the shit they're too scared to even start. Every drop of sweat, every moment of doubt, every tear you wipe away in silence is adding to your future. Trust that. Embrace that. Because if you do, one day they'll look at you like a myth and they'll wonder how the fuck you did it. And you won't even have to answer. Your results will speak. Your discipline will echo. And your scars will speak. Your discipline will echo. And your scars will speak. Your discipline will echo. And your scars will tell the story of a man who refused to quit when every reason told him to. You want to be great? Then you better stop waiting for motivation to save you. No one's coming. No miracle, no shortcut, no handout. Just you, your hunger, and your discipline. That's it. The world doesn't give a fuck about your excuses, your emotions, or how tired you are. It only respects results. And results come from war, daily war. Waking up every morning and dragging your broken body through hell because you said you would. Because the man you want to become demands it. You don't need 10 people clapping for you. You need one voice in your head that says, keep fucking going. While they scroll through TikTok, wasting their existence, you're in the silence, building something sacred. Grinding in silence, suffering in silence, leveling up in silence. The pain is the process. The struggle is the qualification. You think it's supposed to feel good? No, motherfucker. You're supposed to hurt. You're supposed to feel doubt, fatigue, fear. That's the process filtering out the weak. Most people fold when life gets heavy. They crawl back to comfort, to distractions, to average lives and average results, but not you. You're going to walk through the fire until your skin hardens, your mind sharpens, and your name becomes a warning. You're going to take every rejection, every failure, every loss, and weaponize it. Because the man who can suffer the most and still move forward wins. You don't get success by being liked. You get success by being disciplined when everyone else is lazy, focused when everyone else is making excuses. They'll say you changed. Good. You were never meant to stay the same. You were born to evolve, to rise, to dominate. Trust the pain. Embrace the struggle. Because Allah sees what they don't. He sees your late nights, your early mornings, your tears in private, your broken days, and He's watching. Every second you stay disciplined, every moment you deny comfort, you're stacking rewards they can't touch. They'll laugh now, but they'll bow later. Because when you work in silence with purpose, the day comes when they can't ignore your power. You won't need to explain. Your discipline will scream. Your results will slap their opinions in the face. So stop doubting, stop waiting, stop giving a fuck what they think. Move like a man who has already won, because in your mind, you have. This world was built by men who suffered more than most. Be that man. Bleed now. Win forever. Everyone wants the glory, but no one wants the fucking grind. They see the cars, the suits, the lifestyle, and they think it's luck. But they don't see the nights I went to bed starving, the mornings I couldn't move my body from exhaustion, the moments I sat in silence with no one to call, no one to lean on, just me and my thoughts. Discipline is doing the work when it's boring, painful, and fucking lonely. It's showing up when no one believes in you, not even yourself. And you don't fake discipline, you earn it with scars, with sacrifices, with years of fucking silence. The process will break you, it's designed to, it strips away the weak version of you and forces you to decide, do you quit or do you transform? And if you're too soft to suffer, then stay average. Keep blaming the world, blaming your childhood, blaming society. The man who wins is the man who embraces the pain like it's his best friend. He trusts that the wounds are shaping something greater because Allah sees what you're building in the dark. He knows the pain you're burying, the demons you're fighting, the tears no one sees. And He rewards the man who keeps going with pure intention and zero entitlement. You're not owed shit. You fight for everything. Trust isn't about comfort. It's about knowing that the war you're in today is molding the king you'll be tomorrow. So when you wake up tired, broke, and doubting everything, keep moving. When your body aches, your mind screams quit, and no one claps, keep moving. Because every step forward through suffering is proof that you're becoming unstoppable. The process doesn't care about your feelings. It's brutal, but it's fair. And every second you choose discipline over distraction, effort over ease, growth over comfort, you are writing a new story. People will mock you, talk behind your back, laugh at your ambition, and disappear when it gets hard, but don't stop. They'll say you've changed, say you're crazy, say you're too intense, but don't stop. Their judgment is their own insecurity. Their laughter is their fear. They know if you become what you're chasing, you'll expose every excuse they've ever made. So let them sleep, let them scroll, let them stay soft. You're building something they'll never understand until it's too fucking late. Every meal you skip, every hour you train, every dollar you save, every moment you suffer in silence is a brick in your empire. You don't get greatness on sale. You earn it with pain. So trust the process. Embrace the grind. Ignore the noise. And remember, the more it hurts, the closer you are. Allah doesn't test the weak. He tests the ones he's preparing for something massive. Stay focused. Stay disciplined. Stay dangerous. You want to win? Then you better fucking understand that winning is a war, not a wish. This is not about doing what feels good. This is not about waiting for the perfect time. This is about discipline, and discipline is the purest form of self-respect. You don't need motivation. You need purpose. You need hunger so deep it drowns your doubts. When life beats the shit out of you, you stand up and spit blood with a smile because you know the pain is part of the payment. You don't become unstoppable by watching videos and making mood boards. You become unstoppable by making savage fucking decisions every single day when no one is watching. When you're tired, you work. When you're scared, you move. When you're doubted, you stay silent and stack wins. You don't cry, you calculate. You don't complain, you conquer. Every second you waste caring what others think, you rob yourself of progress. These people judging you, they gave up on themselves years ago. Their opinions are cheaper than the air they breathe. Let them talk. Let them mock. Their weakness is your fuel. Your only enemy is your own hesitation, your own softness, your own desire for comfort. You think you're tired? You think you deserve a break? You haven't earned shit. You don't rest until you've built a life so sharp and disciplined it scares people. You train your body until it breaks, then you train your mind to break past the limits. You read when others sleep. You grind when others party. You suffer with intention. This world doesn't care about your feelings. It respects results. Pain is the price. Struggle is the proof. And Allah, the one and only, sees all. You aren't doing this for claps, for followers, or for validation. You do it because He gave you breath and strength, and wasting it is the ultimate disrespect. He gave you hardship to mold you, not to crush you. So act like it. Get up when you're broken. Work when you're unsure. Bleed in silence. Build in shadows. The man who survives the process with patience, persistence, and purpose becomes unstoppable, not because he's perfect, but because he refused to quit. The process doesn't give a fuck about how you feel. It's there to test who you really are. You trust it not because it's easy, but because it works. Every lonely night, every setback, every rejection is sculpting a beast so focused and cold that when success finally comes, it bows in respect. You are not here to be liked. You are here to become a weapon. Sharpen your discipline like a blade. Cut off excuses. Carve out the life you want with your fucking bare hands. Let every failure teach you. Let every pain sharpen you. Let every tear remind you that you're still breathing, and as long as you breathe, you fight. Not for applause, not for fame, but because you know deep down Allah didn't put you here to be weak. He put you here to rise. So get the fuck up and go earn it. You think success comes easy? You think it's a quick fix, a stroke of luck, a blessing you'll find in the next moment? Well, fuck that idea. Success doesn't owe you a goddamn thing. It won't come knocking on your door just because you show up. You don't get success by waiting for the right time or wishing on the right star. Success is earned through sacrifice. It's earned through suffering. It's earned by showing up every single day, doing the work when no one's watching, when everyone's sleeping, when your body is begging you to stop, when your mind is screaming for comfort. Discipline is the only thing that will separate you from the weak. Discipline is the weapon that will allow you to fight through every storm. And you better believe the storm is coming. It always does. This life will test your will, test your patience, test your drive, and if you fold, you will be left behind with the rest of the weak. You're not here to be like them. You're here to be extraordinary. So if you want something different, you better fucking act different. Every day that you waste, every minute you spend scrolling mindlessly, every time you sleep in instead of pushing forward, you're setting yourself back further. The world doesn't give a fuck about your excuses. It doesn't care how tired you are, how lonely you feel, or how much you want to quit. It doesn't care if you don't have the right resources, if you don't have the support. The world only respects results. And if you want results, you must be willing to embrace pain. Pain is the price. Struggle is the price. And you pay that price with no complaints, no hesitation, and no second guessing. Every ounce of discomfort is part of the process, so stop complaining. When it hurts, that's when you're growing. When you're in the middle of chaos, that's when you're building character. When everyone else is whining, that's when you should be working harder. That's when you should be praying to Allah for strength and grinding harder than ever before. It's not about waiting for things to be perfect. It's about taking imperfect action, trusting the process, and letting your results speak for themselves. People will talk behind your back, say you're too much, say you're crazy, tell you to slow down, to take it easy, to stop being so relentless. They'll tell you to enjoy life, take vacations, do what they do, but you know better. They're soft. They're scared of the grind. They're scared of the process. They'll never understand the price you're willing to pay. They'll never understand that the sacrifices you're making now are buying you a life they'll never experience. So let them talk. Let them stay soft. You don't need them. You're on a different mission. When the days get long and the nights get cold, when you want to stop, but you don't know how, when you're faced with doubts, you remember why you started. You remember that you have a duty, not just to yourself, but to Allah. Allah sees your struggle, your dedication, and He rewards effort. He doesn't reward laziness. He doesn't reward those who keep pushing, who keep striving, who keep moving no matter what. You trust the process, even when it feels like nothing is working. You trust that every minute of effort, every second of pain, every hour of grinding is getting you closer to your goal. And while they're busy complaining, you're building. You're turning every obstacle into an opportunity, every loss into a lesson. And when you reach the top, when you stand on that mountain and look down at everyone who told you it wasn't possible, you won't need to say a word. Your results will speak for you. Your grind will shout louder than their criticisms ever could. So get up every day, lock in, embrace the grind, and trust that the pain is just the price you pay to become something no one can touch. Every moment you feel like giving up, remind yourself, this is why I'm here. To conquer, to rise, to prove that when Allah gives you the strength to fight, there's no obstacle too big, no pain too deep, and no dream too distant.